I have found myself an opportunity to hate on Kevin Durant for the first time in quite a while. If you are not aware of my long history of being a Kevin Durant hater, which I don't even think is a fully accurate term, but it is the most simple way to describe it. I made a very long video a while ago called the Kevin Durant Hater Manifesto, talking about all of my beef with like some of his decision making, especially post Golden State, and some of the shit that he says. And what prompted that video is he said to the media, like something along the lines of, why don't I get in the GOAT conversation more? Or like, I think I'm in the GOAT conversation. Like, literally, what reason is there for me to not be in the GOAT conversation? And sorry, that is a preposterous take to me that is entirely lined by self delusion. And I'd like to say all the time, to be clear, that NBA players are allowed to be delusional about themselves. That is kind of how it works. I actually like Kevin Durant, the guy, quite a bit. However, when he talks about his own NBA career, I have to disagree vehemently. And a lot of the things that people say about his NBA career, I just have to disagree about. And a lot of this also stems from the fact that Stephen Curry is my favorite player. So yeah, I am naturally defensive of him. I do have that bias, and that directly comes up in this particular instance. So if you want to use that as like, yeah, I'm too biased to say anything here, by all means feel that way. But I'm allowed to talk, and I'm gonna. So let's just do it. He was prompted, this is a Sports Illustrated interview, about whether or not he thinks that he needs to win one without Kobe without Curry for his legacy. And to be clear, he doesn't need to do that in order to have an all-time great legacy, because he already does. Kevin Durant is at minimum one of the 20 best players who has ever played the game. I think when I did the Hater Manifesto, I had him at like 15th or 16th all time, which I know is lower than a lot of people have him. But again, I think he's a little bit overrated as a player, especially just because his all around game is not that great. And his scoring, I think, can be just a little bit overrated as well, because I don't think he's the greatest scorer of all time. I think it is Jordan. But all that stuff aside, what always gets me is some of the shit that he says in relation to Steph. And my beef is, I strongly believe that Stephen Curry was the best player on that team when he was there. Now, I recognize that Kevin Durant is the better scorer and the better defender, so it seems kind of hard to say that, but I really, really think, as much as the conversation and the belief in gravity gets brought up so much with Stephen Curry, I still think people dramatically underrate how impactful it actually is. If you want to watch a really, really good video about this subject, I implore you to go check out Thinking Basketball's video. Came out not too long ago about Steph's gravity. Like, I think there was something like a 10-15% increase in rim efficiency whenever Steph is on the floor. Like, the amount of open opportunities that players get, including even the likes of Kevin Durant, is a testament to the Steph Curry system. And I also think the fact that Steph won a championship post KD, won a championship pre KD, and then Kevin Durant's career post Golden State Warriors has been nothing short of a disaster is enough evidence in itself that Steph Curry is the more impactful player. But all of that stuff aside, let's hear what he has to say about this. And again, to be clear, does not need to have that in order to be an all-time great, but he does need a self-led championship in order to get into like top 10 conversations, and especially to get anywhere near GOAT conversations.
He had this chip on his shoulder where I got to win one without Shaq. Do you have that type of chip on your shoulder
To win one
without Steph, without Golden State, with all the narratives that are out there? I know you don't care about it, but is there a part of you that has that, like?
No, I can see. I'm not gonna be realistic. If it was if I went out there for the Warriors and
just want to state for the record, he definitely cares about it. Like, something that I pointed out in the Kevin Durant Hater Manifesto, he does the thing that a lot of people do, and even I have definitely been guilty of doing myself, is repeatedly saying that you don't care while also nonstop harping on these things. He cares. Obviously, he was propositioned a question here, so I can't get mad at him for answering it, and he's not the one who said he doesn't care. But seriously, I think it's pretty self-evident that he cared.
And wasn't the Finals MVP like Kobe was with Shaq, and had moments where I didn't average 30 a game or get 7, 8 assists or have 40 and hit big shots, then I would say, yeah, all right, I need to prove that I can do that on that level. But I've done that on that level. So I never looked at myself as like I never looked at Steph like Shaq and me as Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like we were our own new thing. He proved that he could play on that level, and I proved that I could play on that level at the same time. And I think that time with me and Golden State should just be wrapped up and looked at it as such. There should be no more residual from like, could you do this? Or your legacy is this because of that. And if you play a different way, it might change how that time was viewed. I'm just like, I don't want that time to be changed. I want you to appreciate what that's worth, and we done moved on from here. So, but as a fan of the game, as somebody who talks the game and has that barbershop talk, yeah, if I didn't play on that level in those moments and I didn't create those moments for that team, then yeah, you could say that I want to prove that I can win without them. But I was a final MVP averaging 35 a night. Like, that don't make no sense to me.
All right, allow me to try and make some sense of it. I know this is going to get pushback. That's fine. By all means, pushback. I get that I am a biased person here. The amount of free offense that Kevin Durant got in Golden State, the amount of easy offense that Kevin Durant got in Golden State because of Steph Curry's gravity, I cannot overstate. I really can't. The amount of literal free lanes to the basket with semi-regularity the whole time. Like, I even went back and I watched Kevin Durant's highlights from this series. There are plenty of times where he is getting the most easy one-on-one coverage because the defense is focused on Steph, not even with the fucking ball. And this is the point that I really think goes undermentioned and is really, really important. Tyronn Lue said directly that Stephen Curry, in his mind, is the primary focal point of the Warriors. He is the guy that they are far more worried about. Kevin Durant had the best efficiency of his career by far in Golden State because he had the best spaced offense that he has ever played with, and he had Stephen Curry creating so many opportunities for him. So, like, I don't agree with the framing here. Like, it's not the same as Kobe because Kevin Durant is right. He averaged 35. He got a finals MVP. But the reason why people hold this against him is because his impact is not as significant as those numbers. Yeah, Kevin Durant put up better numbers than Stephen Curry, but Stephen Curry was the better player on that team. That is what it boils down to. A lot of Steph's impact cannot be seen in the box score. Far less of that is the case for Kevin Durant. Not that the man is lacking in scoring gravity. Obviously he is, and that Warriors team is so hilariously stacked that there really is no winning situation for anybody else. But like, truly, there is not a more ideal circumstance to average 35 in the finals than playing on the team that he did alongside Stephen Curry. Like, it's just the most ideal set of circumstances possible, like, to a comical degree. So I can't beef with him being like, yeah, this isn't like a Kobe situation where he didn't get a single finals MVP and he was very obviously the second best player on the team, because even though I do think Steph was the best, it is not obvious at all. It is very much up for debate, and plenty of people are willing to debate it. Some Kevin Durant fans act like it's not because, again, they just see 35 points per game. But the game is a lot deeper than that. Just the gravity that Steph Curry has, the way that it opens up offense for everybody. It is the greatest tool. It is the greatest weapon in the history of NBA offense. Stephen Curry's three-point shooting, arguably his actual shots aren't as impactful as the threat that he is constantly on the court. Yeah, maybe not the best argumented points here. This is maybe a video that I would have liked to do preparation for, but just a throwaway topic. I don't really feel like getting into the weeds of it like this. But seriously, if you are going, you're overrating the impact of his gravity, I again implore you, go watch that Thinking Basketball video because it illustrates it perfectly. There's even a bunch of different clips of Kevin Durant getting a bucket because Steph Curry is being chased around the three-point line by two dudes.